there's always moments, right? And they say it the best way. I think Abre los Ojos, the Spanish film that later turned into Vanilla Sky, said it. It's you gotta, it's bad, but you gotta appreciate the bitter to then appreciate the sweet.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Because it's true. Like, yeah, when you're in the slumps, that's when you have friends and you have family, and they're the ones that help you out. And yeah, it might feel like it's like nothing's possible to break out of that, and it's gonna just continue to get darker. But my sister said it with an album name, to be precise. This is how my family's music. I'm not kidding around. She understood, I was very much in love. And she was like, look, Alejandro, we've been doing this for a couple of months. I get it. It's sad. But it doesn't sound like you want to wake up. You just want to bitter in your sorrow and just bury yourself. And she said, and if you don't wake up, it's the same thing the name of the Nine Inch Nails album you love. It's a downward spiral.
Yeah.
The more you don't want to wake up, you keep digging a hole and go. She's like, where you at? Wake up. Keep climbing. It gets better. It totally gets better. So, what did I do? I listened. I got to work. Remember, I forgot who says a breakup or a heartbreak is fuel for future projects.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Amani Experience Podcast. In this podcast, you will experience wisdom, advice, and stories from creatives all over the world. Your host is the award-winning Amani Roberts, who is a DJ, music producer, professor, voracious book reader, and a skilled chef. On the show, we love to share the stories of creative professionals, especially people who have gone from the corporate life to the creative life. Once again, welcome to Season 2 of the Amani Experience Podcast.
Welcome to episode 53 of the Amani Experience Podcast. On this episode, we have Alejandro Montoya Marin with us. He's a filmmaker. I think you're really going to enjoy our conversation. 3 things I really liked about our talk was we had an excellent conversation about movies, specifically when we talked about Chasing Amy, one of my favorite movies. And then we also talked about 500 Days of Summer. So keep an ear out for that. I think you really enjoyed that. I was really impressed with his ability to write female characters. He had a really strong mother growing up, and that comes across when he writes his female characters. And then I thought it was really revealing and transparent when he talked about how he used the breakup to make a breakthrough in his movie writing and film career. So that was a really interesting story. He was very vulnerable when he talked about that. And I give him props because he talked about the breakup and how he used that to make a movie. So I think you'll really enjoy it. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Remember, if you want to reach me, email me at podcast@amaniexperience.com. And to the show we go. Our guest today was born in Laredo, Texas, and raised in Mexico, Merida, and Monterrey. Since a very young age, he has been interested in film. He went to school for marketing and then attended Vancouver Film School in Canada, where he specialized in directing. He later moved to Albuquerque to join the growing film industry. His narrative work includes Intrepido, The Princess and the Musician, The Joneses, Lo-Fi, Monday, and Leslie. His films have been screened in numerous film festivals, including the Cannes Film Festival, Raindance, the Napa Valley Film Festival, Holly Shorts, and many, many more. Most recently, our guest appeared on the El Rey Network-produced documentary show Rebel Without a Crew, the series. With a budget of only $7,000 and 14 days of shooting time, our guest was able to adapt his award-winning short film Monday into a feature film. The movie premiered at a special screening during the 2018 South by Southwest Festival, and most recently was screened to a sold-out audience at the Soho International Film Festival. The film is currently on the film festival circuit and continues to pile up rave reviews. I would like to welcome Alejandro Montoya Marin to the Amani Experience Podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a guest with us. We're happy to have you. So first off, tell us where you grew up and where are we right now?
We are in Santa Monica, California, in the beautiful, open, breezy Santa Monica, California. But I'm not from here. I'm actually coming every other week to try to start, meeting people, etc.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on making the move full time in the next month or two.
Nice. We'll have another cool Los Angeles resident. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
For sure.
And but I'm not from here. I was born in Texas, as the bio said, in Laredo, Texas, which is right smack on the border. So technically it's the States, but it's more Mexico than anything.
Okay. Yeah.
And after that, I moved to Mexico. So I jumped the border the other side, the other way. And lived in the Yucatan, which is in the south of Mexico, and where my dad was from, or is from, Mérida. And then went to Monterrey, Nuevo León, which is in the north part. Very industrial, fast-paced.
Okay.
As in Mérida is very, low-key, relaxed. A lot of people like going to retire, but beautiful, though. And, yeah, then went to Canada and now Albuquerque.
So what's it like living in Albuquerque compared to where you grew up in Laredo?
Oh, shit. I can cuss, right?
You did. Yes, you can.
I'm like, oops. First of all, the weather. Albuquerque is incredibly dry.
Okay.
But one of the things I loved, or I think I gravitated a lot about Albuquerque, is the embracement of Hispanic culture. They're very proud of Hispanic culture, even though the majority of the population is not Hispanic. So that really made me feel welcome. People are very warm and very receptive, and they first embrace you, which is another cool thing that I found in Mexico, because I'm a first generation American. I was afraid that by going to Mexico they'd be like, oh, this guy thinks he's American now or whatever. But no, the same thing happened in Mérida. They embrace you first, and they treat you. Then if you're a dick, they'll be like, all right, well, fuck you, don't join us. But no, very, very warm, very cool, and obviously, no film work.
Yeah.
There's no film work in Laredo, but
Right.
there's plenty in Albuquerque.
There is. Good. And then how long were you in Vancouver?
2 years.
So Vancouver is on one of my travel city bucket lists. I really want to go visit. What was your experience like living there?
Only fault I have about it, there's only one, and it's it rains all the time.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
People are awesome. The food is fantastic. There's a great music scene. There's great bars that play. I really love alternative rock.
Okay.
Indie alternative rock.
Cool.
I mean, I like all kinds. I like jazz, hip hop, pop. I mean, whatever. But the ones that I gravitate most is indie, Brit rock.
Cool. Like, who are some of your favorite artists?
From the long spectrum of music, I love Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. Good.
A Mexican band called Plastilina Mosh is one of my favorites.
Nice.
I love, obviously, the Beatles, Broken Social Scene, Feist. My dad is a huge jazz aficionado, so I was lucky that my family's very music orientated.
Yes.
So my dad's jazz, my mom's 70s disco, my brothers are hair metal. It's I grab from everyone.
Nice. Great. Well, I usually ask this question later in the interview, but I'll ask you now. If we're playing baseball and Alejandro's walking up to bat, what song is playing for you?
Rage Against the Machine, Rodeo.
There you go. Well
go.
done. Great.
Nothing cooler than walking into a stadium with Zach De La Rocha and Tom Morello going
All
at
right.
it.
I like it. Now, if you were going to summarize yourself in 30 seconds or less, how would you summarize yourself?
Compulsive, at times impatient, obsessive, loyal, happy. Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to kind of start out from where, you first started to now. I first want you to kind of talk to us about the play Braveheart when you went to see it when you were in Mexico, and tell us about that experience and what impact that had on you in your life.
Well, I did the play. So the reason why I did it was because I was failing. So I was failing art, fucking, right? And my teacher was like, in Mexico, basically what happens, I don't know how it is the school system here, but in Mexico, when you reach the 7th grade, they tell you, you're failing, you get one exam. that covers all what you should have learned all year.
Okay.
If you fail it, you fail. You fail one, you fail the whole year. So you have to repeat the year. And the teacher was like, well, I don't know what to give you. It's art, so what can you do? And I'm like, I can do a play. They're like, all right, whatever. So I grabbed all my best friends, and we did Braveheart. And why Braveheart? Because it just came out. It had just come out in the theater. So I remember I bought the soundtrack. And my dad's still pissed to this day. We took all his swords that he had, decorative swords he had in his bar, and he's always like, I have my room, it's my bar, my music place, just leave it alone. Took out all the swords, borrowed a bunch of skirts from like my aunts and like our girlfriends and shit like that. We painted our face and we did Braveheart. Like, here's a bunch of like 8 little Mexican kids doing Braveheart, a story about Britain or England and then Scotland or Ireland. Sorry, is it Ireland or Scotland? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but it's okay. We get the idea.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I haven't seen the movie in 10 years. But it was great. Like, we had like horses made out of cardboard boxes, and like when they're like opening his guts, we had like what was it, like a hose, I think.
Okay.
And people like went nuts for it. Like, people really liked it. So then the next year when I failed again.
Oh no.
They told me, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, this time I want to make a movie. So I did Star Wars. And while we were there, I remember I didn't know what shot lists were, storyboards, nothing. I didn't know how to edit. I edited from my little camcorder to the stereo, the VHS.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was editing everything.
Flashback, yes. Yes.
This is my roommate's drone right here, and I almost knocked it down. And one guy was like, all right, what are we doing? So it's all my friends that were in the play for Braveheart. They came and like, what are we doing? I'm like, okay, we're going to start on a shot from here. You guys are going to come by, and you need to say from this. You need to say this, and this from here till you exit the frame. And when we were done, he goes, you should be a director.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, man, well, I do love films. And, like Robert Rodriguez, Tarantino, that had all just come out. Kevin Smith,
right?
Wes Anderson, etc.
Yeah.
Linklater. And then I started taking serious. I was like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start studying movies. And my dad would like, if you really like this movie, you should check out this.
Good.
And if you like this, you should check out this. So I watched The Godfather when I was like 7. I didn't understand half the movie, but I was like, there's something poetic about this. Or I remember Unforgiven. I watched that when it came out on VHS. I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan.
Good.
And yeah, man, I've always been gravitated to film. Like, I would play G.I. Joe in a very different way. I was very in love with soundtracks before. Now, there hasn't been a really good soundtrack. I think the last good soundtrack I've heard was Blade Runner.
Okay.
The 2049 was amazing.
Yeah.
And I would play G.I. Joes to soundtracks. So what I would do is I would go and put a random soundtrack, and the way the song was going, that's the energy that I would portray with my toys. So if it was calm, it was character development or story development. And then when the dun-dun-dun-dun whatever, then the bad guys were coming or the good guys have to go.
Right.
Then my mom would get pissed because I would bury my G.I. Joes when I was a kid. She's like, they're not fucking free, Alejandro. And I later found out there's a movie with, I want to say Jeff Bridges, I think.
Okay.
The Boy Who Can Fly, and Fred Savage used to do that. So I was like, man, this guy understands me.
Yes.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Great story. I understand. Well, first, I understand you like the TV show Atlanta. So I'm a big fan of Atlanta. Tell me why. Why do you love it?
I didn't like the episode that everyone was pining for, where he's like this rich old guy or something.
That was it first season 1 or season 2? Season 2. So he's a rich old guy. Let me think here. That wasn't the season when one of the characters goes to buy that piano.
Yes, that one.
That was. That was a crazy episode.
But I played at least 4 times the one where Paperboy goes to get a haircut.
Oh, that's great. Yes,
I love that episode.
Yes. His barber keeps delaying him. Oh, I can relate.
Do you like Sex Beast? Of course I do. Whatever the place is called. And then like, you give me your leftovers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love I don't know, man. I don't. It's very appealing. Like at the beginning, I'm like, you're trying too hard to be artistic and the wide shots with the fucking purple and blue. But it's just done so differently. Like the narrative work is so differently, and the characters are so anti-traditional. Like he's a rapper, but he's not that big. And then there's a struggling manager who's trying to do it because he needs to provide. And then there's the the paperboy's right hand man is just a good person. Yeah, he's a little stoned all the time, but he's just a good guy. Yes. And I'm like, you know what? I loved it. Like I'm pissed that I have to wait another year for season 3.
I know. I like the episode where it's a flashback to when he's in school and he gets the FUBU shirt.
Oh my god, that was brilliant. Brilliant episode because that shit has happened to all of us. Yes. I was like, great job.
Yes.
No,
unfortunately, the guy, killed himself, but still, great episode, real. So,
that's right.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so we got that in common.
Yeah, now that it's morbid, now that we ended up...
Well, we'll go to Vancouver. What did you do once you finished your Vancouver Film School?
My dear friend Ryan Halsey, which is also the director of photography for Monday, and I drove from Canada to Albuquerque.
Okay.
It was a 3-day drive, man.
Wow.
And we've been in Albuquerque ever since. We collaborated on almost all the projects that I do, and he's invited me to collaborate on a couple of projects as well. And yeah.
Cool. Now, basically, in your opinion, what is important for creative professionals such as yourself and myself to succeed in today's business environment?
Oh, love what you do. Make it a priority in your life. Know that you're going to stumble more than once, probably 30, 40, 50 times. But if it's something that you can't live without and you really want to do it, keep going because, it's for 10 failures or 9 failures is one success.
Very true. Now, when you came to Albuquerque, you couldn't have just started off filming things. What did you do to kind of supplement your income and survive while you were trying to creating your projects as well?
I still have a day job.
Okay.
I wish I didn't.
Right.
I'm getting older, so doing the double thing it's starting to wear me down. But again, I love being on set. I love entertaining people. To one point, I think I'm like, how they had in medieval times a guy who was like juggling balls. Yes. That's me. I love entertaining people. I love hearing people laugh, and there's nothing that will take me away from the satisfaction that when you're in a theater and people are laughing at something that you wrote. So I'll continue to do it. I still have a day job, and when I get off work, I hang out with my lady, we watch a movie, or I do some writing and keep going.
How do you manage your time? Because if you have a day job and you're pursuing this full time, what do you do to kind of manage your time so you can still stay ahead of all your projects and keep everything moving?
I go to work an hour earlier. I leave work maybe 3 hours later. I work on weekends. I obligated myself to take one day off a week, which is my Sundays. And sometimes what I do is I wake up at 8 in the morning, I go right till 1, and then I go back home, and that's it. It's like, I'm not doing anything else. Maybe I'll go catch a movie, watch several movies, watch whatever. But I try to work at least 6 to 6.5 days a week.
Nice. And just do it.
You have to.
So far in your career, when was the turning point? When did you realize, okay, I have skills as a film director, as a music video director, and this is going to work out? When was the turning point for your career?
I think there's been 2.
Okay.
One after a huge breakup that I had. Huge breakup that really smacked me to get back online. You know what I mean? There was, I have a girlfriend right now, incredibly happy. She's super supportive. But there was another girl. There's always the other girl. You know what I mean? That will make you appreciate what you have now.
Very true.
And it's not a failure as much as a life lesson. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you get 8 of them, probably. I've had like 3. Not 3 ex-girlfriends, but 3 of those. Yeah.
Okay.
So by me beginning to be at the beginning, it was me like, I'm gonna show her what I can fucking do. and I wrote a short film, and in the short film I acted, and in the short film I'm basically telling her, because there's a monologue where I'm not an actor, so I acted in this one and never again. And in the short film I'm telling her, I'm sorry, I fucked up, and I know that I did it, and I know why you've moved on. So because I can't see her, like
Right.
that's it, we're done. Like I don't understand when people are like, oh, we broke up but we're still friends. I'm like, that's stupid. That's stupid. So that was one, and then the second one is doing Rebel Without a Crew, man.
Yeah.
I was about to not do it, and one of my friends who's an author in the UK was he told me, look, man, I know you're gonna do it with no money and no crew, but I'm gonna give you some advice because I'm 60 and you're 35. I wish I wasn't so much of a perfectionist because I didn't do a lot of stuff. Take that as you will.
And so you took that advice and said, you know what? I'm going to just go for it and try it out.
Yep.
And here, look at you now. It paid off, didn't it?
It's paying off.
It's paying off, right?
Yes.
I know we're still on the process. We're still on the journey, but it paid off.
Yeah.
The first movie you talked to us about, was that Lo-Fi? The one
The Princess and the Musician.
Oh, The Princess and the Musician. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, in Lo-Fi, it talks about like expectations, life, and love. Mm-hmm. What experience did you draw upon to create that movie?
Well, the girl's me.
Okay.
I'm Leia. I think we're all a little bit of Leia. I think Leia represents not the urgency, but the influence that pop culture has sprinkled on everyone. Mainstream media has grown more and more and more, and with social media, content is like what we all need. We all need to watch something, so whether it be TV shows or movies or web series, whatever. So there are mediums of influence. Some people get influenced by reading a book. Some people do marathons. A lot of people do movies. And in movies, if done right, some people can go watch it not just to go past time, but to learn something or to become a better person, or, you know what I mean? Like Chasing Amy was a huge point for me. Like I was like,
okay.
you know, that was the movie that made me want to write romantic comedies to inspire people, to tell the girl that they love, hey, I love you, or to do something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel that character is also, we're all growing more and more impatient. So that's a movie that I think that tells people, be who you are, and that's fine. You don't have to meet anyone else's expectations except yourself.
Yeah.
And if you do good things will happen.
Yeah, love that. I'm definitely going to link that in the show notes. But let's rewind. You mentioned Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Nice.
Okay. Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
What was it about that movie that really resonated with you?
How raw it was, how real it is, how absurd but real it is. I mean, if we're going to get personal, like I come from a very traditional Mexican household. So, I mean, the movie is not, and it makes me laugh so much when people say Chasing Amy is about a guy trying to turn a girl into a lesbian, or a lesbian
Switch,
into
yeah, it's not that.
And I'm like, man, you're dumb. you missed the whole thing. It's about male insecurity, man. And he said it several times where it's like, yes, it is. So I think, again, it's about, you know, not meeting anybody else's expectations, because at the end, by trying to meet expectations and trying to do what he thinks was right, even though it's wrong, he always failed. He let that one go. He let the girl that was like, yeah, maybe I'm a little crass and maybe I fucked around, but I'm here with you and I love you. And it's a great line where she says, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
The other shit shouldn't matter.
Yeah. That scene that was outside the ice skating rink when she lays it out for him.
Yeah. And people give it shit because they scream a lot. I'm like, look, sometimes when you fight, you scream.
Yes. I'm so happy you said that, because that movie, like, he was so caught up on her past that he couldn't enjoy her present.
Great line. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great movie.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. People, yes, because that's a young Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Kevin Smith in it, and he tells a story with, what's my guy's name? The guy who's
Jason
always...
Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. And then I forget the young lady's name.
Joey Lauren Adams.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, great movie.
Great movie.
Oh, I'm so happy you mentioned that. Okay. That just made my day.
We got another thing in common. There we go.
Woo!
Air five. Oh, no, we actually did high five.
We did high five, yeah. Kind of continuing on that point, why do you love what you do?
That's a tough question. I mean, if I don't do film, as drastic as this sounds, I've said it many times, if I don't do film, or I'm not in a position where I've made movies and made a living out of it, I failed in life. I was put on this earth to make movies. They might not be the best, but at least, you know, I love what I do, and people can have fun with them. Like, I just love it. I think is that a dorky answer?
That's your answer. Whether, you know, that's a good answer. And then on the flip side, what is something that scares you?
Failure.
And how do you work through that?
Working hard, so then I wish I would have worked harder. That's why I quit my marketing degree. I sold my business. I had a video store called Quick Stop in Mexico.
Okay.
And the logo was the same logo as the Clerks, as their grocery store. Sorry, Kevin Smith, don't sue me. But no, he's a huge influence, and I would love to meet him one day, because it's like, dude, you Rodriguez, Tarantino, like, I mean, everyone gets influenced by Spielberg, because the motherfucker's a genius.
He is, yes.
But then there's the people that really channel your voices, and he was one of them. And yeah, I guess you have to take a big step, so that when you're 60, you're not like, I wish I would.
Right, like your mentor that said that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about, why did you quit your marketing degree, and what did you learn from that experience?
I learned to trust my gut feeling. And why did I do it? Because I was sitting in a classroom and actually trying to pay attention and to do good in school, so then I can go study film, and I just felt miserable. I just felt like I was drowning myself in alcohol to go drink with friends to maintain the happiness and the notion that I'm having a good time. But I wasn't. I was just like, I'm not doing what I love, man. Shit, if you want to be a gardener, man. Do what you love. But just because then, well, what's the point?
Right. So from there, where did you go after you left marketing school?
Vancouver.
So you went right to film school.
I sold everything. I sold all my movie collection and everything, and I went to Canada.
Wow.
Yeah.
You ever wish you had your movie collection back?
Yeah. I mean, I bought a lot of them again, but
Okay.
yeah, I had a huge collection.
Wow.
Because I kept all the movies that I bought for the video store were all mine.
Oh, wow.
So I had a humongous wall of just DVDs.
Yeah.
It was a sight.
What's your current thought on the film industry now? Because, you know, common thought would believe that, you know, with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, like, you know, the extended TV series where you kind of get all your episodes at one time is sort of taking over. What's your thought and perspective on that?
I don't hate it. Like, we were just talking about Atlanta. I love the fact that one day we're like, hey, we heard the show's good. And I honestly, I loved This Is America so much that I was like, all right, this motherfucker's got my attention. What else has he done? Let's go check it out. So I love the fact that you could binge, but it's made us more bratty, and it's made us more impatient. Because you remember, have you seen The Sopranos?
Yes.
Waiting every
year.
week?
Yeah.
And every year?
Yeah. Game of Thrones makes us wait too, though.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm in for both. I think both of them have their charm, and if you really love something, you don't mind waiting. None of us complain about waiting for Tarantino's next movies.
Yeah.
He's got a new movie coming up. He's got me sold. No, I think it's an exciting time. The only thing I don't like is all the big blockbusters bombarding.
Yeah, especially now we're in the summertime as well too. So
Good Lord.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's beautiful gems out there. Like I heard the Ethan Hawke movie apparently is brilliant.
Okay.
And then my friend just told me we gotta go watch there's one about this cowboy that's kind of like The Wrestler but with cowboys.
Okay. Yeah.
I heard it's
Okay.
amazing. So I'm like, yeah, let's go on Sunday. You know, like I love going to the movies.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't want is the movie theater to die.
Right.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm already sad that blockbusters are dead.
Right.
I used to love going to video stores.
Now it's all on demand at a touch of a finger. Even Redbox is going to be gone soon enough.
Oh.
Yeah, but we'll enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah, exactly, right?
All right. Now, your industry, the film industry, is incredibly crowded.
Yeah.
How do you rise above the noise and distinguish yourself as a director amongst all your colleagues and peers?
I mean, there's always subgenres. You know, you got the people that do like the very artsy pieces. You get the people that do the B movies. You get the people that do the grindhouse. There's so many genres. So I guess by learning, by again working hard and trying to better yourself, from when you were reading the filmography that I have, I always try to challenge myself with different genres. Like Lo-Fi's a romantic comedy, then Monday's action, then Leslie's flat out drama, then it's a dark comedy. I did Monday because it lent itself to the hecticness of me not gonna having a crew. So okay, we could shoot it gritty,
right?
But I never shot action. So I guess challenging yourself, man, you become a better storyteller because at the end of the game is, how do you tell stories? That's the job of the director. Tell the stories right so people can get it and see something they maybe haven't seen or enjoy the ride. I mean, they're giving you their time and day and their money. Entertain them.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you have produced and released several films, so as a result, you have your fair share of critics. How do you handle your critics, your haters?
Oh, man. Obviously, we're in an industry that not everyone's going to love your thing.
True.
And it's hard because when you write, produce, shoot, edit, promote, you spend years or months with these characters. So you're putting your heart out, you're putting all this emotion for someone to be like, eh. It's like, there goes a year. You know what I mean? But,
right.
I mean, you know that as long as you understand that people are not going to like it, or maybe they're having a bad day, or I mean, you can't really do anything about it, so I just go, cool.
All
right, whatever. Move on.
Keep it moving.
Are you happy with it?
Good. Now, tell us about the darkest time in your life, how you got through that, and what did you learn from that experience?
I think we already touched on it. Well, I mean, there's been several, obviously, but I mean, that one, well, my uncle passed away.
Okay. My
grandmother. I mean, there's always moments, right? And they say it the best way. I think Abre los Ojos, the Spanish film that later turned into Vanilla Sky, said it. It's you gotta, it's bad, but you gotta appreciate the bitter to then appreciate the sweet.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Because it's true. Like, yeah, when you're in the slumps, that's when you have friends and you have family, and they're the ones that help you out. And yeah, it might feel like it's like nothing's possible to break out of that and it's gonna just continue to get darker, but my sister said it with an album name, to be precise. This is how my family's music. I'm not kidding around. She understood, I was very much in love, and she was like, look, Alejandro, we've been doing this for a couple of months. I get it, it's sad, but it doesn't sound like you want to wake up. You just want to bitter in your sorrow and just bury yourself. And she said, and if you don't wake up, it's the same thing the name of the 9 Inch Nails album you love. It's a downward spiral.
Yeah.
The more you don't want to wake up, you keep digging a hole and go. She's like, where you're at, wake up. Keep climbing. It gets better. It totally gets better. So what did I do? I listened. I got to work. Remember, I forgot who says a breakup or a heartbreak is fuel for future projects.
This is true.
Use that to your advantage, right?
And you use that
consumed.
Yeah, to write The Princess.
The Musician.
Oh yeah, I have to check that out.
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
I think you'll like it.
All right, we're gonna link all these gems you're sharing. We're gonna link them all. This is great. All right, so that's good. Good story. Who was the most influential person for you growing up?
My mom. My mom is a very smart woman. And I'm not saying that because right now the industry is very on Me Too and no. The reason why I write women and I try to write women well is because I come from a very strong woman, and I have a sister, and I don't want to pick sides. I want us to all be equal, man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So my mom, obviously immediate people, because then I can start naming people that influence me. But my dad, I remember I got lucky. I have a family that love me, and I love my family, and we get along really well. One time when they dropped me off at school. I was like in 7th grade. And in Mexico, we kiss in the cheek. Friends, family, whatever. And my mom drops me off and I kiss her in the cheek and I step out. And all my friends started making fun of me. And I'm like, oh, they're all like, oh, you're kissing your mom, ooh. And I'm just like, yeah, sorry, my mom loves me. I'm an asshole.
They probably didn't like that too much. They're probably jealous.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't pick on me after that because I was just like, sorry, I have a family that like each other.
That's great though. Yeah, cool. And your sister. Your sister, younger or older sister?
I have 2 older brothers. Then it was me, and then my younger sister.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you kind of all grew up together.
Yeah.
Wow.
None of them do film.
No, that's okay though. We need a little diversity.
Yeah,
That's good.
exactly.
What do you find easy to do that your friends find hard to do?
Be the bad guy at times. It's fine. You need to. Sometimes people need a leader and take the hits.
That's you.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. What did you do? How have you been able to write female characters so accurately with so much emotion and realness?
I'm a very emotional guy. I like watching something. If it moves me, I cry. I like screaming. I like portraying my emotions. By the way, England and Belgium are still 0-0.
World Cup update.
Exactly. World Cup update. I don't want to do a disservice to a female character. Like, I love, like, look at Tarantino and Rodriguez. They do female characters right. And I want to do that because I remember watching Jack in Jill. Remember that movie with Adam Sandler? And people might say yes, people might say no. This is my opinion. Fuck off if you don't like it. But I was like, you have Katie Holmes there. She's a good actress. Why aren't you giving her some more lines? She's just like, oh, Jack, you again, and then nothing. And I'm like, ugh, give her an arc, man. You have talent there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like putting, I know he passed away, but imagine having Philip Seymour Hoffman in your movie and you only have him, like, open a fridge and leave. It's like,
Yeah.
squeeze that, man.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorite female characters from film?
Oof, that's a lot.
Give us the top 5.
Gee, I might not get to 5.
Okay, give us the
There's so
top
many.
3.
I truly love Sigourney Weaver and Aliens.
Good.
Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, what a badass. I love Uma Thurman and The Bride. I mean, a lot of Tarantino's characters. I love Jackie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many, man.
Yeah.
Renee Zellweger and Jerry Maguire, I think, is the voice of reason. I really like her. There's just so many, dude.
Yeah.
You kind of caught me in a... There's so many.
Yeah, because you have a skill of writing female characters, so I'm figured that you would know many of the characters that you're like, you know what? I like what they did with her in this movie. I like her role and what she said and what she stood for.
Okay, so I've done the thing where I rewatched a lot of movies that I was like, I'm not that impressed, especially because Creed 2 is coming out. I really like the girl in Creed.
Okay.
Like, a lot. I think even more than...
Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just... Because she's grounded.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She doesn't have to be flashy to let you know, calm down. And that's what I like about some, like in the movie Monday, she's Penny from Inspector Gadget.
Okay.
The guys are all like, and then she's like, calm down. Let's do it like this. So I thought she was pretty great. I really, out of all of Ryan Coogler's movies,
Okay.
I think that's my favorite.
Good.
I really liked it.
Good.
And it just reminded me because I saw the trailer for it. That's why. Yesterday.
Now, if we're going to go back, when you were 21, were you in Vancouver or were you in Albuquerque already?
Mexico still.
Oh, you're still in Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go back and we're going to talk to 21-year-old Alejandro.
Oh, shit.
And we're going to give him advice based on what you know now. What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
Stop talking and act. Stop talking and do it. And don't be too cocky. Yeah.
Good advice. What is the one lesson in life that took you the longest to learn?
Patience.
Yes. So hard. How did you learn that? Like, how have you been able to continue to grow your patience? Because that's difficult for many people.
That's tough, man. I obviously I haven't learned it because clearly I'm saying it right now, right? But I think as you're aware of these things, if you're aware of these things and you mention it, like, that means that you know that there's room for improvement. So I know that I need to be patient or more patient. I get very nervous and sometimes, or I'm just like, this needs to be this way and this needs to be this way. But I think it'll be an ongoing journey of learning to be patient and to like, and not everything's gonna have to be a certain way, and you have to adapt. And that's what showed me in Rebel. That was like the main lesson that I learned. Just be patient. Go with the punches, and when there's an issue, zig and zag.
Yeah, patient. So I'm going to read a quote that someone wrote about you and then get your perspective on it.
Oh, shit.
It says, Alejandro's mastery of the craft is on full display as he delivers stunning visuals, electric performances, and razor-sharp edits. Reaching these heights at any budget levels is an extreme challenge, but for $7,000, nothing short of miraculous. What's your opinion on what was said about you?
That very flattering. Thank you. I am very grateful, and not trying to sound cocky, but I felt we got lucky that we got lightning in a little bottle, and it wasn't just me. I mean, yeah, I had to tell people what to do, how to do it, the portrayal, the how angle. But if I didn't have the actors, my DP, the locations, that movie would have been shit. Yeah. There's so much a captain of a boat can do by himself, but with the right crew and people's energy and wanting to do this and committing to this project, and I am incredibly grateful for everyone, because I mean, these guys, they didn't have any pay. Mm-hmm. They did it out of love and of the project, and because they were like, okay, it could be good. So no, I am incredibly grateful for that review, because every time we get a review, I always text it to my cast and my crew, and it's like, they always say, "Hey, good for you." No, it's good for us.
Yes.
It's because it was a team effort.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's called Rebel without a crew, but I mean, they were just like, they're actors, and if I told them, I need you to pick up these sandbags and take them over there, they would do it. Some people didn't even have to act, and they were there driving, taking us food and stuff.
Yeah.
Like one of the actors, excuse me, I burped. One of the actors wasn't even, let's say he wouldn't act that day. He would come to hang out. He would bring me my Red Bull, a pack of cigarettes, and hey, boss, anything you need, man. Like, he's just the nicest guy that even told him, Joe, if this is a fucking con, I'm going to be so disappointed, because you are just the nicest guy. And he plays like the big villain drug lord, of course.
Of course.
Right?
Cool. What you're describing reminds me of one of my favorite African proverbs, where it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just what you described. I love to share that quote with people because it's just what you described.
That's a great quote.
Yeah. Tell us, why does the ending of Shawshank Redemption make you cry?
Oh, man. I think everything that expresses, everything that movie combines, you know, it's based in the it's in the 60s now, right?
I think that when it ends, it's in the 60s, because it starts like the 30s, 40s, and they're there for a while.
Mm-hmm. I think everything that movie represents of friendship, and I don't know, man. It's just every time I see Morgan Freeman just smile when what's his name? Tim Robbins?
Yeah.
Is sanding the boat, and like, hey, look at all the shit we had to go through, but we're here because, you know, we're friends, man. Friendship is very important to me, and I think that's like the biggest fear I also have besides failure is me caring for someone and then them. I guess it's the paranoia in everyone, right? But more in me is that your friend will betray you or something, because I don't underestimate friendship. I love friendship. It's great. I write about it all the time. I mean, Monday's about friendship.
Yeah.
So after, you know, literally dragging yourself through a fucking football field of shit and carving a wall and seeing friends hang themselves, and I'm describing obviously Shawshank. They meet at a beach where they were finally free and they can see the horizon. Like, it's just like, it gets me.
Yeah, Andy Dufresne.
And that little music by Newman just coming out, like,
yeah. Tell us now, what was it about 500 Days of Summer that resonated with you?
oh, damn you. Just want me to cry, don't you?
I'm trying.
It's the whole breakup thing. Like, that movie was just so important to me in the sense of when you're in your lowest, you can climb up. It's not impossible to just stay in that dark period. And how the music, like, implemented in all his moments and all his life and all his expectations and all his, like, it helped me a lot because I knew exactly what he was going through. And that, like remember when Zoe, have you seen the movie?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I've been to the place where they sat on the park bench in L.A.
Oh, I want to go there.
Oh, I'll take you there.
Nice.
It's cool. Yeah.
I want to take a picture. Hold on. That happened to me. She leaves me, and then 2 months later, she gets married.
Oh.
And I was just like, that was I think the biggest. It was not only sadness, but I mean, it was a huge punch to the ego. And I told her, like, look, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but it's like I feel so like you just threw me away like a dirty fucking diaper, and that feels shitty. And she's like, I didn't mean to do it. Just we weren't right for each other. I loved you, yes, but we just weren't right for each other. So I understood perfectly. I mean, I still watch that movie and I'll start fucking crying, dude. And it's not because, I still love her. No, it's just because you feel what you felt. So you kind of like submerge yourself into that again. And it's like, it's a good mechanism for writing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't lose those things. You shouldn't be afraid to like retouch on certain feelings because if you're an artist, it'll help you. If I need to write an emotional scene, I can dig in a little bit and it'll come out.
It will.
So even though it was sad, it's still life. It's nice that you went through that because it's like, what's the point of going through life if everything was just peachy?
Yeah. Although when you're in it, you're not quite happy, but once you can get through the storm, it's...
Yeah.
That scene in 500 Days of Summer, the split screen scene, that
fantastic.
Was brilliant. Like, what were your thoughts on that? That was woo.
Amazing. I saw it and I was like, yep. Yep, because it's the moment that, like, if you're gonna, let's say you're gonna go to coffee with her or him, whatever. And as you're getting ready, you're putting on your watch, you're putting on your pants, you're putting on your whatever, your dress, whatever, you're seeing what you can happen, and then you get there and it's not that, and you walk out like, oh, that was not what I hoped. No, it's great. I love that movie, and he never got back to me, but I emailed the director, the producers, going, you have no idea what your movie meant to me. Yeah. And that's what I want to do with a movie like Lo-Fi.
Yeah.
That's my goal, to touch people's emotions and hearts and then do something or help them out.
Yeah. How has your experience with movies, your in-depth research with different movies, specifically like kind of the romantic genre, affected you personally, your personal life? Because if you're always watching romantic movies, sometimes people get a little bit of I don't want to say an idealistic view of it, but how has that affected your personal life?
I can differentiate very easily, so I guess it's not influenced my whole life as much as it gives me like flags that are like cemented. You know what I mean? Like for 500 Days of Summer, Jerry Maguire. Like I love the never giving up kind of sense because he's the character is on the top and then he just goes down in every fucking scene.
Yeah.
Or what's another one? Like Harry Met Sally, man. What a great movie.
Yeah.
So I think it's not much as it impacts my whole life as it gives me reminders when something happens or when, like I was very selfish in my last relationship. So when my fucking girlfriend wants to see Harry Potter, sorry, I'm not a huge fan, and I don't want to see it, I'll make time because she likes it.
Good.
Or we went to Harry Potter World, and she's like, I can spend here all day. I'm like, no, we're not. You got 2 hours. Go. You know what I mean? Like, you see wizards and like fucking wands and shit, and I'm just like,
your Patronus. Lord. I love Harry Potter World. I love Harry Potter, so I can respect that. Power to
the world is amazing. The one in Universal,
Mm-hmm.
I had a blast. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Right. Good.
Like we go, like I love eating at the Three Broomsticks now. Every time we go, it's like I get my fish and chips. Like I try to make the best out of it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not gonna spend their 8 hours.
Every great person has a sentence. Yeah. What is your sentence? For example, my sentence would be, I love to help people unlock their creativity by teaching them how to DJ. What is your sentence?
Jeez. Oh man, that's a tough one. Not rehearsed, by the way. I'm not gonna rehearse. I didn't rehearse any of this. Jeez. Give me the shot, and I will try to entertain you.
Love it. Well done. What is one new habit that you've added to your daily routine in the past year or so that has been most beneficial?
Writing every chance I get. Oh, no, this is a really good one. Besides writing, reading.
Okay, so that's a perfect segue. We are big readers on the Amani Experience podcast.
Nice.
If there's 1, 2, or 3 books that you think people should stop what they're doing right now and read them right away, what comes to mind?
I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Robert Rodriguez's Rebel Without a Crew is fantastic. And I'm halfway done with Bourdain's Kitchen Confidential. Yes. I loved it.
Okay.
I honestly was very saddened when he died, when he passed away, sorry. Yeah, I really was. That man was, I mean, we all have our flaws, but he had a very beautiful aura and lesson to teach all of us, and it shouldn't matter where we're from and our backgrounds or what countries we're from or whatever. Try it, experience, learn from people. We're all people. I mean, we're all the same game level. We're just in different. It's like the World Cup. We're all teams.
Yes, we're all teams.
Trying to get the same achievement.
Right.
We just come from different groups.
Okay. Tell us how we can find your old film work, your new work. What are you working on now? Kind of fill us in on what's going on with you right now.
Well, right now we're touring the film festival circuit with our feature film Monday, which we did for Rebel Without a Crew, which you can all see at Go90. It's an online app, and it's basically about 5 filmmakers that Robert Rodriguez chooses to do their first feature film with $7,000, no crew, in 14 days. So we are going to be touring the film festival circuit. We just screened in New York, and we're going to go to El Paso, Juarez, LA, Las Vegas, and we're trying to go to other places. So that's right now what we're doing. People can follow me on YouTube. I do little montage videos with my phone just because, this will be great when 10 years from now, just see like, oh man, remember when we went to New York?
Exactly.
And just watch it. Yeah, they're not Casey Neistat video. That guy's
amazing.
Super talented.
Right,
I love him. I have his like thing.
Ah, nice.
Like
Cool.
I love him, the message that he gives out. But yeah, they're fun. Yeah. And people can follow me on social media. Cool. My full name, Alejandro Montoya Marin.
And where on social media do you spend most of your time?
Instagram. I love Instagram.
Good.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So we're going to follow you on Instagram stories, YouTube. We got it all covered. So before I ask you the final question, just want to say thank you very much for appearing on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Great talking to you. I love your passion. I love your work. I'm excited to learn more about, some of the films you do and then start to follow you because I can see that it means a lot to you. You're already very talented, so just keep working. Really appreciate it. And we let our guests kind of take us home the show. Give any last minute words of wisdom or advice to the people. So with that, I'll just say thank you, and I'll say take us home.
Damn. You get one life. Make the best of it. Be with people. Surround yourself with people that challenge you and that you love spending time with. Do what you love. Work hard for it. Call your parents. Call your family members. I know with all the distractions from social media and friendship, and everyone's trying to seize the moment. Take 5 minutes, man, because it means a lot to them. Respect your elders. Be a good person. I know we're all ambitious and we're all trying to get ahead, but treat others the way you'd like to be treated.
Yes, sir. Preach. Thank you.
Yes,
all right. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Amani Experience podcast. You can check out the show notes on amaniexperience.com/podcast. Feel free to email us at podcast@amaniexperience.com. Please remember to leave us a review on the platform you are listening on and share this podcast with anyone you feel would benefit from listening. See you soon for our next episode.